Alec Holler.
Alec, it's been a long time for you in your UCF career. So your last game, kind of what are your thoughts? Did you go through practice, preparing for one more? What's through your mind in a week like this?
Yeah, I mean, it's you go back and you think about your journey up to this point. You kind of reflect even on your days at Pop Warner when you're like a little kid and starting your journey in football, and now up to this point, it's reflecting on UCF as a whole and just taking everything for what it is and not taking any time for granted and just being thankful for the entire process. And I don't know, just getting the ability to spend time with teammates, coaches, and practicing on the practice field. Tomorrow will be the last practice on that practice field. So it's special, and it's a special bowl, and I'm extremely excited that we're getting an opportunity to play in the Gasparilla Bowl.
Al, do you think that when you take the field on Friday that there'll be some emotions there, obviously, being in your last college game?
Yeah, I think so. I think that you obviously can't let it affect how you're going to play. I think afterwards is really when it's going to kind of set in terms of being the last college football game. Before senior night, you kind of feel that as well. So it's not going to be unfamiliar emotion, I feel like, for a lot of the seniors that are going to be playing their last game because they've experienced it on senior day.
Alec, you mentioned, thinking back about your career and stuff like that. I want to focus a little bit specifically on this being UCF's first year in the Big 12 and your name being on the proverbial plaque heretofore with that. How much is that part of what you're thinking and part of what you cherish in your career here?
Yeah, it's extremely special, and that's something that I'll always tell my friends, family, my kids about in the future, my grandkids, is talking about this experience when we see UCF going far and beyond even stuff that we're accomplishing now, because I mean this university is set up to just defy everybody's expectations, and coming back to be a part of this team this year specifically was a big motivation coming back, as well as training, getting stronger, and putting more film on to potentially go to the NFL. So those were kind of the two main thought processes when coming back. So it's definitely a big deal.
You talked about your career. You are a bit of a Gasparilla Bowl legend now. This is your third time in it. You posted the highlight of the Florida game. What's it mean to play in this game specifically?
Yeah, I think that it means a lot to a lot of the local kids, especially because a lot of your family gets to come. Also, you get to spend Christmas with your family, which is extremely special as well. And going to play in Ray J is extremely cool. And this year, since we didn't play UCF or USF, this is our opportunity to go play there. And, I mean, you think about stuff like 2 years ago, Jake Hescott, one of my close buddies, his last game was playing Florida in the Gasparilla Bowl. So that's like another thing that I've been thinking about a little bit. So the Gasparilla Bowl is really special, and I think that when we get to play in our home away from home, it's a really cool thing.
They kind of expand on that. Obviously someone made a ban on UCF or fans at Tampa's hometown team too, and UCF's played in that stadium every year since 2018, and every year you've been at UCF, you've played in that stadium. So do you kind of feel like that is a home away from home? There's going to be a ton of fans out there. A lot of it's already sold out.
Yeah, I think that it's just sometimes when you go to a neutral site game or you go to an away game, it's kind of unfamiliar. You've never seen the stadium before. You'll go the day before and kind of walk through the stadium to see what it's all like to get adjusted to the environment. That's a place that all of us have been there multiple times. So it's some place that I feel like we're comfortable and that we're very used to the environment, and we know what to expect when going to a stadium like that.
You guys are going to play Georgia Tech. What do you know about Georgia Tech and their defense, and what stands out to you about that team?
Yeah, I mean they're a solid team. They're disciplined, and I think they're going to be a great challenge. I mean, one of the things that I saw like throughout the season was when they beat Miami at the end of the game, which that just shows you that they're resilient. They don't quit. They play till the end of the game, and we got to play them last year, which was really cool. And now both teams will be motivated for this game for sure, since we beat them last year, and now I don't know if they've been in the bowl game for a long time, so this will be a big deal. And then also with the Georgia O'Leary ties both ways will be pretty cool as well.
Alec, obviously injuries are part of the game. Any season, 21, there was a lot of injuries that year. You build up, it looked good, and then back at Gasparilla Bowl. You mentioned also the emotion between getting a little bit more time to heal leading up to that bowl game since the last game was played, and then also all that motion. How has practice been going? Do you have that feeling that this team's the healthiest it's been since that final snap of the regular season?
Yeah, our team's definitely healthy. All the guys are moving around fast. I mean, we're playing physical in practice, and I think that you can see the intent when we're out there on the practice field, whether we're doing individual drills to try to just work on our technique, or we're in team against each other, we're pushing each other, keeping each other up, not trying to knock each other down to the ground, but we're playing physical and trying to help each other improve.
Alec, what would it mean to end this season with a victory in Georgia Tech and guarantee a winning season in your first year in the Big 12? What would that mean to you and the team?
Yeah, it would be a huge deal, and Coach Malzahn has talked about always carrying the momentum into the next season. For example, when we beat Florida in the Gasparilla Bowl, it was kind of that momentum we carried into the offseason, and then we went to a conference championship the next year. It's really important to end your season on the win, not only for the seniors, but also to set up the next season as well, and kind of keep those gears turning, kind of.
I know a lot of guys don't like to look back on the season until after the season's over, but when you look, if we get a chance, when you look at this Big 12 season, what stood out to you about it? I mean, what were some of the highlights for you that really kind of maybe in your mind were some of the things that stood out, I guess, about the Big 12?
And I think that a lot of games this year we've showed that we have a lot of talented players and that we do belong here. There's obviously been some frustrating moments, some games where we kind of gave it up, honestly. And that's kind of the moments where you honestly get to see what your team's made of. And although we'd obviously love to win those games, I think that we saw in those losses that we're tight as a team, and that we're never going to quit regardless of what happens the previous week, and that we're just going to step forward and just play hard regardless of what the circumstances are.
Alec, I know you're a humble guy, but in that same vein, if the UCF fan was asked about Alec Holler play, of course the Holy Holler would come to the minds of many. Is that also your favorite play in your time here, or is there something else that you'd be like, hey fans, check this one out too, I thought this one was pretty good?
I mean, I guess so. I think that would probably be the one that I'd pull up. Someone's like, hey, pull up a clip of your career. But there's a lot of honestly like blocks that I really like. Cincinnati last year when RJ had ran in that touchdown, I had a cutoff block on the backside, and I kind of got the end pinned, and RJ ran through there. So that would probably be another play that I'd pull up as well. But yeah, I mean, that play's pretty awesome, and that play I'll have on my phone saved, be able to pull up to show somebody whenever they ask.
Obviously, the focus is on winning this game and in your career. But what's next for Alec Holler? Are you going to give a shot to the NFL? Beyond football, do you know kind of what you want to do with your life? Have you kind of thought about what happens next?
Yeah, I mean, I have another year of eligibility, so we'll see.
Is that a joke?
No, I actually do.
Oh, good. Wow,
Yeah,
really?
medical. I have a medical one. Yeah.
So how many years is that?
That'd be 7.
Oh, I was a joke because
I do that. But yeah, we'll see.
I mean, you might be thinking about pulling the Cougs as well, but how cool has it been to play with your brother if this is it?
Oh, I mean, it's been extremely special to have the opportunity to see Max every single day, and just, I don't know, I feel like your team becomes your family, and when one of your family members is able to be a part of that every single day, and you wake up in the morning and just so many memories that we'll be able to talk about for the rest of our lives. And we're extremely thankful to UCF and everyone involved, all the fans and everyone that's made UCF such a special place that we've been able to spend this time together.
So if you do have 1 year left, I mean, are you giving thought to coming back for another season? Is that a real consideration? Or?
I mean, we'll see. I'll talk about it after the bowl game, but yeah, I mean, there's definitely been a little bit of thought, yes.
When you look at, a lot of teams across the country, a lot of the players are either opting out of bowl games and stuff like that. It seems like you guys are a pretty cohesive unit. You haven't had a lot of guys, I don't think any of them, that opt out. What does that say about this team that you guys want to finish out and do it all together as a brother?
Yeah, I think it speaks to the culture that Coach Malzahn has built and the brotherhood that all the team members, all our teammates have made, that we want to play for each other and just end on the right note and let the record books show what our team is in reality, and show that we want to end it with a winning season and just play one more time with each other, because there's only this team. Although UCF will play every year, this is our last game that we'll ever play together, so it's going to be really special.
Last thing for me, but what was your favorite moment of this season up to this point?
Let me think. There were a lot of good moments. I mean, probably Oklahoma State. I feel like that was great, awesome game, and the rainy environment was really cool. Just, I mean, you fall on the ground, you're sliding through you're sliding like 5 yards. I think the Cure Bowl got to experience that a little bit last week. So I'd probably say Oklahoma State was probably the most fun game and best moment afterwards, and we were all celebrating in the locker room as brothers.
All set?
So sorry for laughing. I thought it was
No,
you played like 6 years.
No, I know.
You said you had another year on your walk. You didn't say you got another medal. You played like 6 years. That could be a seven.
Oh, thanks.
What?
Thank you.
Yeah. Ricky, how you doing? All right. So how are you feeling? I know it's kind of been an up and down year for you. You haven't been 100%. I know it was really, grinding at you through the middle of conference play that you didn't feel healthy. But where would you say you are right now in this ball game?
Right now, I'm 100%. I feel like I had time to rest. We had the break between the last games and now I had plenty of time to rest, so I feel good.
So how would you kind of look back at this season for you? Obviously, you had big plans and aspirations going into it. Obviously, like I said, injuries played a large role. How would you kind of assess this year went for you?
It was a definitely learning year. I had to fight through a lot of adversity this past year, really just learn myself and who I am and if I'm able to handle it. And I feel like for the most part I came out the other side.
Ricky, you already mentioned that you had some of that downtime. How much did that really help you out? I mean, from the point of the final game to this point to practice, how much did having some of those days off really kind of help you heal up and get ready?
It helped a lot, man. I was really able to recover, be in the training room, and just heal up.
Ricky, with this particular group too, you had what is objectively a solid defensive tackle core. I know you had that time to spend out. How much relief was there that they were there to fill the gap and do a pretty good job this year? And how much did that help you raise your game as you're trying to recover?
It helped a lot just because of guys like Lee Hunter, Matt Alexander, John Walker just being able to come in and just, there's no drop off between players. Everybody comes in and they produce and make big time plays when we need them the most. Like everybody in the room can do that. It's possible for all of us. And so just having them also elevates my game because I know I'm the oldest guy in the room, so I know I have to hold myself to a certain standard, for those guys.
Speaking a little bit on that, being the oldest guy in the room now, can you reflect on how that experience was this year opposed to different years?
It was different. Going back to my freshman year at Western Kentucky, when I was 17, 18, they only brought in one D tackle that year, and it was me. So like the whole D line was 20, 21, 22, and I'm 17. So now I'm 22, and John Walker's 18, 19. So it's like it's been different being the older guy. They look to me, and so I really have to pay attention to watch what I do, because I know those guys are watching me.
Yeah. You're kind of like a coach of those younger guys in a lot of ways. What did you think of like a guy like John Walker, freshman All-American? Obviously had a great first season. What did you think of how he did this year?
John Walker came and he exceeded expectation. Any questions about John Walker is out the window. He's a guy. He's a player.
You're a freshman All-American too.
You talked about that development from when you were 17, 18 into the way you are now. What was the biggest thing that you think you learned during that process that you've been able to pass along to these guys and maybe help them kind of grow as you did?
The biggest thing I would take away is just probably just being able to work when no one's watching. Honestly, like football, you have to be able to take football home. Like if the only time you do football is when you're in the facility, you'll never be a great player. You'll be a good player, but never a great player. So just being able to go home and then maybe watch an extra film, or let me hit the weight room, by myself and go run a couple sprints. Just being able to really just take the next level, like improve your work ethic.
It's part of you being that example as a teacher and coach and all that. Let me tap into a different direction than you being the older guy. This year, you're one of those names that's kind of etched in the plaque there to be part of the post-Big 12 team. What was kind of the biggest moment from that? And how, is this something you're going to tell your kids about? Like, how big a deal was that experience?
It was definitely a big deal, especially being the captain of the team. So it was like, my name's front of this team. So, we go as far as we carry it. But it was definitely a great experience. I can think back to my favorite game this year was probably Oklahoma State. And I know I didn't play, but watching the D tackles really get after. I feel like the D tackles really controlled that game. They wanted for us. So I was a big fan of that game.
How did the injury affect you during the season physically, as far as limiting reps and kind of playing on pitch count in some weeks, and then this past 3 weeks? In what ways do you feel as though you're fresher and ready to play a full workload in the bowl game?
it definitely cut back my load I was able to take on. Like if some practice I couldn't go, some games I couldn't go, so it was definitely a bye-week type injury. But I mean, having 3 real weeks of just sitting, like just being off of it and really just taking care of it, really helped me a lot.
I mean, you know how bowl games sometimes go for some teams, guys may not be playing, guys are transferring, maybe they're not down and focused or thinking of other things. Where would you say this team's focus is as far as Georgia Tech and Gasparilla?
I would say right now everybody's focused on it. I mean, we have guys in the portal, but they're still here because I feel we're a player-man team. We all really we care and love about each other. So we want to make sure we send the older guys out, the right way. So you got guys who are in the portal and they're still here just because of the bond we have.
Obviously, you've been in a couple of defenses before. You've seen Coach Addy in his first year. How's he grown as a coach to you guys?
To me, Coach Addy's grown. He's been way more hands-on than he was at first. Like he went from in the press box on the field. And when I said that changed our defense completely.
Have you started to evaluate what 2024 looks like for you? Is it something that you are planning to come back here? Is that kind of been on your thoughts at all?
Right now, that's something I'm trying to get to the bowl game. I'm sitting down with my family, the coaches, and really just evaluate, everything and where I'm at, and I'll see what's next for me.
I know Ricky bowl practice is a good opportunity for some of the young guys, maybe to get a little bit more reps out there. Is there anything some of the young guys that have stood out to you on the practice field that you guys are ready for this bowl game?
Really all of them. Really just been able to watch them fly around because, like you said, they get a lot more reps. Braden Marshall definitely stands out to me all the time. I'm trying to think who's a good one. I really can't think of one. Like I feel like everybody's kind of, we've been able to watch everybody fly around. It's been good.
So you said you're going to make a decision after your future after the bowl game. So I mean, this could be your last game at UCF. I mean, you said yourself you haven't made a decision. So what will you kind of remember about this UCF career? If for you, like, if you have a favorite moment, a favorite game?
They probably win the conference championship. I know we didn't go the way we want, but just being there, always been just a humbling moment for me.
You talked about Braden Marshall a little bit there. He stepped up when Jordan Mass went down earlier this season. What did you see from him as the growth when he became a starter?
I like his physicality. I love PPs and come down and hit. I love that.
What do you know about Georgia Tech? Like, what kind of challenges their offense going to be for you guys?
Georgia Tech is a really solid team. Kind of like I was saying earlier. They brought back really the same O-line. I mean, they've added a couple new pieces, but really they were a solid O-line last year. They're going to be solid this year. It's going to be a challenge. The quarterback is a playmaker. He's not just going to stand there and take sacks. He's a playmaker. He's going to make something happen. They have really good receivers, so all around it's going to be a game where we're really going to have to come out and fight.
You guys all set? All right, perfect. Xavier Townsend.
You're from Tampa. You got to play in that stadium last year with UCF and USF. Going back this year, Gasparilla Bowl, Tampa's hometown team. They like to go to UCF. So is that cool for you, going back to your hometown to play the bowl?
Yeah, definitely. We got a lot of family coming and everything, so it's always a great time going back home and playing in front of them.
Xavier, what does a win in this bowl game against Georgia Tech mean for this program, moving forward to next year?
It means a lot. Like Coach has been saying, when we win against Georgia Tech, that gives us momentum for the next season. So, we're focusing on this game, trying to win.
Earlier Xavier, we were talking to Alec and Ricky, the old hats about their experience in the first Big 12 season and how their names are going to be on the plaque and all that stuff. A little bit younger guy, what's going to be kind of your perspective? As you get older, obviously you'll be helping other guys in practice and teach them a little bit. What would you take from this special season that you would use as kind of a teaching moment for guys you're going to kind of mentor moving on?
Yeah, just taking the season and just learning from it, being able to experience it, learn from the older guys and everything, just teach the younger guys what the older guys passed down to me. So this season, it's been a very much learning curve for me.
Coach Hurt talked a lot about your development in the offseason, how much you were putting in work to earn the starting slot position. How do you think that helped you this year, looking back?
It helps a lot, just going into working day in and day out, being able to, see the improvement that I made, as I watch film and everything, and how it's translated to the field, on game day and everything. So, just putting in the work that, I feel that's always the way to go improve.
And what do you think the biggest difference between this year and last year is for you?
Just understanding the game, slowed down a lot for me, route running, understanding exactly what the defense is doing, where the soft spots would be in the zone and everything, and just being able to get in and out of my grips.
Wide receiver room seems like it's going to go through some sort of a turnover. You got a lot of freshmen potentially coming in. You guys have already announced plans to leave in the transfer portal. So you individually, how do you plan to kind of embrace more of a leadership role going into that group for that next year?
Yeah, I've talked to Coach Hurd and everything. I have to learn to be a little bit more vocal. I'm a laid-back, quiet guy, just go about my day and everything. So I guess now I have to step up a little bit, be more vocal.
It's also the first time we've spoken to you since Berkeley Prep won the state title against Norland in an upset. So what were your thoughts on that game?
I'm proud of them boys. I'm so happy for Coach Sile and everybody, man. They deserve it. So I'm so happy for them.
I asked Ricky this, but this bowl prep allows some younger guys a chance to get out there. Have you seen some of those guys out there maybe that stood out to you that maybe have been able to maybe impress you guys in these bowl practices?
Yeah, for instance, Tyree, he's doing a great job. He's done a great job this whole season and everything. But, he's been able to get more reps during this bowl practice and everything. He's been doing a great job. So it impressed me a lot.
Like I said, there was a time period you were kind of banged up a little bit, missed a couple games, but just looking back on this season, what was a highlight for you personally? Is there a game or a play that stands out that you made?
Not a specific play, just being able to just experience it. First time in the Big 12, this whole season has just been a great experience. Ups and downs, learning how to bounce back from a tough losing streak and everything. But I think the whole season has been a blessing.
Well, a lot of people obviously saw your most recent touchdown in the Houston game. Was that a special play for you, or just tell us about that one? You made a few guys miss.
Yeah, it was a pretty good play. John put the ball in a great spot for me. And that made it easy. Great block downfield by Javon and everything. So.
David, you said you're gonna have some family, obviously, at this game. How many family members will be able to be attendance?
As many tickets as I can get them. So. Yeah.
How would you say UCF is looking at this game? You know how it is with different teams. Sometimes guys can be out the door, they can be transferring, they can be getting ready for the draft. Maybe they're not motivated. You know how it goes. How motivated is UCF? How focused are the guys on winning this ball?
Very motivated. Everybody that steps out on the field, player, coach, everybody. Everybody's focused on winning this game. We're looking at it like just a season game. We're not looking past it, not looking forward to the next season. And right now, we're living where our feet are.
You went through the season of the Big 12. What do you guys need to do next season? Or what do you need to do physically for yourself, maybe in the workout? Or what do you need to do to be better next season in the Big 12?
Just the intensity. Just keep doing what we're doing. Just picking up the intensity a little bit more, I feel. A lot of the games were very close games and everything. So I think, something that I may stress everybody, just finishing. Our biggest thing, I feel that we need to finish better in the games.
I know fans are going to be interested as whether Javon Baker, Kobe Hudson return for next year. Have you spoken to those guys? You have time to have conversations about the future during this prep, or is it more just focused on what's going on right now?
Yeah, a little bit of both, but I'll let them take the decision when the time comes.
Good stuff. Appreciate it.
All
Thanks.
right, thank you.
All right, we're ready to defensive end, Tre'mon Morris-Brash.
You don't have to be
Alec Holler's like, I got another year. I thought he was joking.
Alec Holler is UCF's version of the Vince Carter meme. I got one more in me.
All right, Trayvon, this is it for you. This is your last game in college. So obviously you've been thinking about that a little bit. Kind of what's going through your mind this week as you go through maybe tomorrow's gonna be your last practice here at UCF. What's going through your mind heading into this bowl game?
What's going through my mind it's been a lot. As far as graduation, me just graduating, so it's really all just hitting me at one time. Like, I didn't even realize that we leave so soon tomorrow. Like, we leave right after practice tomorrow, so it's going to be a quick turnaround, but I'm ready for it.
Well, tell me, Robert, you said you just graduated. So
Yes.
this past weekend?
On Friday.
On Friday, okay.
Yes.
So how special was that for you? Obviously a big moment for you and your family?
Definitely a very special moment for me and my family because my mom nor dad didn't even graduate high school. So for me to graduate college, I can only imagine how they feel. Then my grandparents too, they didn't get a chance to see my mom or dad walk across the stage, high school, college. So just to be able to do that is big, and it feels unreal. It's a feeling that I can't really explain.
Tre'mon, you talked, I mean, obviously it's an emotional moment for you to go through that, and then you're getting ready for your last game. I mean, how do you are you a reflective person? Do you look back on things and how things have gone? I mean, how do you kind of keep those emotions in check when you got one more game left?
I do look back sometimes, but then again, like I said, I just try to just be where my feet are. We have another game to play, so really just gotta finish that game strong, and then I'll truly kind of reflect. But I know being in Tampa at the bowl site, I'm pretty sure I'll be reflecting a lot. Especially this will be my third time in the Gasparilla Bowl, just going to Tampa. So yeah, it'll be fun.
Congratulations to you and your family on your graduation.
Yes, sir, thank you.
But with this reflection concept in mind, what has the inaugural Big 12 experience meant to you? What does it mean to you to have this season be the first Big 12 season for UCF as part of your career?
It means a lot. I mean, well, of course, it didn't really go how we wanted it to go, but just to come into the Big 12, and a lot of people, they didn't really believe that we really do as good as we did do. So it means a lot. It was nice to go from the AAC and get first team all conference, then come to the Big 12 and do the same thing, which that was my plan to do, to just be better than I was last year. So water. But just to be better than I was last year, and I think I did that, and I'll continue to do that coming this week against Georgia Tech.
You've been the vet of the room for this season. What have you seen from the young guys stepping up? Obviously, bowl practice gets a lot of reps.
Yeah, with the young guys, the young guys is really the same. All the young guys who stood out this season, like John Walker, Randy Pittman, Player of the Year, honorable mentions, those guys are standouts. Like Ricky said, Braden Marshall, he stands out. Those guys aren't freshmen anymore. They're not freshmen anymore, y'all. They gotta come in, they gotta add value to this team as much as they can, and they have, and they'll continue to do so.
You said all conference was your plan. When you saw that you made first team both from the conference itself and the AP, what did that mean to you individually, and where do you feel as though you made the biggest improvement year upon year in entering this league?
I feel like I improved that, really just my approach, just knowing that I'm the vet in the room now. It's my 5th year, so a lot of guys, they kind of look at me, and then some that was nice, the coaches kind of giving me a little bit of more freedom this year, so that was kind of nice. And then what was the beginning?
Yeah, the emotions you felt when you saw that you made all conference.
Yeah, so with that, it's nice. It's a great accolade to have all conference, but nobody really cares. The NFL don't care about that. So what you got all conference? What are you gonna do on the field? Are you gonna continue to show that, or yeah?
You got, what have you seen of Georgia Tech's offense and the quarterback? What kind of challenge did it present for you guys in the bowl?
Yeah, like Ricky said, he kind of hit it on the head. The quarterback, he's a player. He's gonna try to make plays. They haven't really allowed as many sacks this year, but it's because the quarterback, he does a good job at getting out, and he does a good job. But it's a challenge that we're ready for, and looking forward to it. Looking forward to playing against them. They have a kind of experienced O-line. Like we played against them, but it'll be a challenge, and we're up for the challenge.
You've played in Raymond James Stadium every year.
Right.
First of all, we had a touchdown.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't think about that I played in that stadium every year. Yeah, I didn't think about it.
I think the first Gasparilla Bowl, you had a tough bubble return for touchdown,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So how do you like playing in that stadium? Do you kind of feel like it's a home away from home? You know, be full of UCF fans.
Right.
Like, are you looking forward to that kind of atmosphere?
It's definitely a home away from home. Just that feeling right there, just scoring a touchdown as a freshman is it's surreal. Like when I scored a touchdown, I didn't even know how to celebrate. Like I didn't even know what to do. I was just stuck in the moment. But like I did score a touchdown in that game, but also against Georgia Tech, I fumbled at the 1 yard line. So that's something I'm looking forward to getting back at. Not fumbling at the 1, but actually finishing. So yeah, I got a bone to pick with them for stripping me at the 1 yard line. But hey, it's football and stuff happens. So
I was just about to ask if you've been working on your ball carrier drills.
oh yeah, for sure. I definitely been keeping my mind on that, just knowing that like that's a feeling that a lot of people will want back, a game that you will want to get back, just fumbling at the 1. So it's I don't know, that's a feeling you can't really explain. Like it's a tough one for sure, but I'm grateful I just even was able to be in that position. Like, some people don't even get that opportunity. Like I fumbled at the 1 yard line, but in that same game, I recovered another fumble. So it's just like people don't get that opportunity yet to even play football at the level that I'm playing at. So it's just a blessing to just be here and even do this. I'm just so blessed to be able to like just sit up here and talk to you.
We're in an unprecedented era of college football player movement, yet you've finished all 5 of your years at UCF. So through the ups and the downs, through a coaching change, why did you stick here? Why was this somewhere you would never want to leave?
I mean, it's just this is really just been home for me. Like just from my first time stepping on campus, just seeing it all. It felt like home, and I didn't really want to leave and have to go somewhere and start over. And I mean, I know I do good wherever I go, like if I was to go somewhere, but it's just the thought of just having to build other bonds and meet new people. I mean, there's nothing wrong with meeting new people, but I just felt comfortable here and just felt like loved here and kind of like wanted. And then like I've been here 5 years, so why not just finish it off? I mean, it did hurt me a little bit. Like my teammate Cam Good, I'm sure you guys know Cam Good. We went to the same high school and we came here together. Like that's kind of like a package deal. And then when he left and went to Michigan, it definitely hurt me. It definitely hurt me a little bit, really a lot, because just knowing that like we came in together and then he's about to be gone. So like. Yeah, but my incident that I had also that kind of deterred me, like from staying here, like to not leaving. So yeah, it's been surreal, but I'm blessed that I did stay, and I'm really happy that I did stay.
That frame of mind, does it feel special? I mean, because of the fact you stayed your entire time. I mean, do you talk to other players when they talk with you and they have to talk about, maybe what their future holds? Do you kind of relay how why it's so special for you and maybe the idea to stick around? I would say
a little bit, but like probably not so much because I'm still here and I haven't gone yet. But like it's a lot, but it's like it's bittersweet kind of.
So, kind of looking back at the 5 years, what are some favorite moments for you? Favorite games, favorite maybe individual plays? Like, when you look back on this career in a few years, like, what do you think you're going to be remembering?
So, you kind of already hit one of them. One of the moments was my freshman year scoring in the bowl game. That's a moment that I'll never forget. Another moment, there's quite a few. I've been here 5 years. quite a few moments, but definitely catching an interception in the Louisville game, that's a moment I'll never forget. Coming back off suspension, then catching an interception right off suspension, barely playing in that game. So that that was pretty nice. And then making the game-winning tackle on Timmy versus USF in the bounce house, that was a great moment. A moment that was kind of good too. I mean, it wasn't really good, but it was a moment I'll never forget. Fumbling at the one. That was a moment. That was a moment. Yeah, right. It's not really a good one, but it's definitely a moment I'll never forget. Then also getting another fumble we recovered in that same game. So that's a moment I'll never forget.
So what's next after this game? You get a shot at the NFL. Is that kind of where your focus is going to shift to after the bowl game?
Yeah, my focus will shift to the NFL, and I'll definitely start getting ready for the NFL. And I mean, I haven't like posted it yet or anything, but I'll definitely, well, I won't say definitely, but I'll be playing in the bounce house again for the Hula Bowl.
Okay.
So I haven't announced that anywhere yet, but I'll have one more opportunity in the bounce house to play, so that'll be fun.
You talked a little bit about the moments of your 5 years here. Obviously, before you even got to campus, your commitment announcement was probably the most famous in UCF history. Ever since then, you've been a fan favorite. What has Night Nation really meant to you?
I mean, Night Nation has meant a lot to me because, like, even when I was down like at my lowest, like Night Nation and coaches and staff, they've always been there for me and supported me, like regardless if I was really wrong or right or indifferent, like they've always been on my side and stayed beside me and just seeing the good in me and just seeing that there's light at the end of the tunnel. So like, I truly appreciate Night Nation for always just sticking with me and continuing to be with me regardless of what's been going on. Just how I've continued to stick with them these past 5 years.
So you'd say they're the best in Florida?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I said that without even knowing it. Like yes, best in Florida, yes.
Last one here with Cal.
Tre'mon, you mentioned making the tackle on Timmy and talking about playing the random games all over your career here. I've got to ask at this point here too, as somebody who's had that experience and is transitioning soon to being UCF alumni, in your mind, what do you think the next rivalry is going to be for the school?
The next rivalry, I mean, I really already said we kind of got one with Cincinnati. Like we've been had beef with them. I mean, it's not really like just from me first coming here, just playing them, just seeing how the bounce house get when we play them, and it's always a dog fight. Well, at least usually it's always a dog fight. Besides that 1 year that we played them, pretty sure they went to the college playoff that year, and yeah, that was a moment I'll never forget, and it stuck with us these past 2 years that we played them, and we had to let them feel our pain. So I feel like Cincinnati is definitely probably our rival.
That's what Sam Jack said in 21 when he wrapped up too, just for reference.
Right.
Good stuff, Tre'mon.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Thanks a lot for everything, man.
Appreciate it.
Good luck to you.
Yes, sir.
Don, great. Well, thank you. You too. Thank you. Thanks. Thanks, Joe.